All right, here with Coach Banda. Is it Banda or Banda? All right, so I was asked like 3 different people, and they give me 3 different last names. So please help me here.
I'll help you. It's Banda, but I will answer to all.
Oh, no, you shouldn't, though.
My first name is actually Ephraim, but here it's pronounced Ephraim. So in Spanish, it's Ephraim. So I've learned over the years of just different names that I just answer to them all. So.
Jeez. Well, here you are, the defensive coordinator here at Utah State. You've had quite the ride. I mean, from Incarnate Word to Texas, Mississippi State, and then at Miami, Florida, we had several great years, actually, 4. What brings you to Utah State?
Oh, man, the list is long. I think first and foremost, it was about working for a really good head coach. Sure. I was raised in this profession to really value those type of experiences. I was raised by a lot of really good head coaches, and this profession is really hard. Coaching's hard. It's not easy. And when you have an opportunity to work for a really good person, it makes your everyday life all the way to till you lay down in bed with your family a lot easier. So Coach Anderson in this profession is known as one of the really good dudes to work for. So when he called, it was definitely something that for us and my family that we were highly interested in. The other reasons for sure was the program. It's won. It's had a lot of good coaches come through here. It's had success over the years. The conference has always been strong over the years. Group of 5 conferences have fluctuated over the years. Some had good years, some had bad, but the Mountain West, in my opinion, has been the most consistent over time. The players, when I watched them on film, showed a lot of toughness, showed a lot of grit, showed a lot of physicality, been through a lot, and they kept playing and they kept playing. They never really quit, and that for me was a sign of a program that had a backbone to it. So there was a lot of reasons. Those are just kind of the few. And then when we got out here, the reasons even grew more. So,
well, speaking of success, you know that. I mean, your first 9 seasons as an assistant in Division I, you've made a bowl game.
Yeah.
What do you see as a primary tool to success on the defensive side of the ball? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So when you say primary success, are you talking?
I mean, what do you look for
schematically?
Schematically, and then even in players, what do you look for?
I think for us to have success, which will ultimately end up in the things or go to the places we want to go, it's going to be about having an urgency defensively, a tempo, a style of play, and the way we tackle and our toughness. So you'll hear me say these words a lot: highly urgent defense, a very sound tackling team, and a very tough team. The X's and O's of it, everyone has different ways of doing it. They've done it here many different ways and had success doing it different ways. So for me, it's going to be really harping on the urgency, and the defenses that we've been a part of that have had a lot of success had great urgency. The ones that had a lot of success also were very, very tough, and then they all tackled really well. And the way that we tackle is different. We're a rugby-style shoulder leverage tackling team. It is not something that we just say we are. It's something that we rep every day at the beginning of practice, all through the summer. The guys are doing it on their own. It comes from rugby. The Seattle Seahawks made it real famous in the NFL a couple years back.
Sure did.
And it's something that we really hang our hat on. So those 3 things are very important to us.
You have some great leaders coming back for this defense, Shaq Bond being one of those. Mm-hmm. Who else have you seen besides Shaq Bond as a leader that you hope or want to see as a leader on the defensive side of the ball?
Nick Henninger coming off the injury, he's had a phenomenal summer. Just leadership-wise, running the player-run practices, being one of the player-run practice coaches. He's done a phenomenal job.
Is he healthy? Sorry, Coach.
He is. Okay. Yeah, he's full go. We'll monitor his reps, and he's an old guy, so you got to treat him like an old wily vet, and we'll be smart with him. But he's been really good to be around. Up front, another guy that's just been very impressive, Hale, D tackle that's been here for a few years, been awesome. Just really the heart and soul of who we are. When I think of toughness, I think of Hale. I think Byron Vaughn's a new addition. Has just came in here, and not with his words, but by his actions and his work ethic, has been an awesome leader for us, and I think it's going to be awesome for us up front. There's a couple other guys up front. I think in the middle, guys that have been here, Obviously, we've had some transfers, but Vong Wachong is another guy that I seen walk in and just do everything right at a very high level. So I'm excited to see him kind of grab the microphone and become a leader. Justin Wright has came in here and just really asserted himself as a transfer from Arkansas State and previously at Fresno. I think he has a chance. At the corner position, guys that I'm really putting my finger on and trying to get to really go and has answered the bell this summer is Zahadre Jackson. Very impressed with his summer so far. I'd like to see how he responds to some adversity. If he shows me that he responds to adversity better than he has to this point, I'll know that he's turned the corner and he's ready for a big-time role and to be a big-time guy. Cam Lampkin's a young guy that I've seen really do everything right as well. Much like Byron Vaughns, just has gone out there with his actions more than his words. Byron. And then in the back end, about Shaq. He's a guy that, I think has done a lot for this program to this point. I'm going to challenge the heck out of him this spring. I already have, and in this fall, he has no clue what's coming for him. Because I'm going to try to get him out of here as better than he's ever been. But with that, he's going to have to get real uncomfortable for him, and he's up for it. So I'm excited.
The offense wants to go full pace, Mach 9, hair on fire kind of style. And that can be good because you can see lots of points on the board, but then if the offense can't produce, then it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. How do you as a defensive coordinator prep your defense for a very fast-going offense like that?
Luckily, I've had some experience in it already. Again, in the Big 12 where this whole thing really started back 10 years ago when I was there. I had a lot of experience dealing with it, so we have – it's not new to me.
Yeah.
We're kind of at the breeding grounds of it there when it was kind of really starting to spread. And then working for Dan Mullen and his offense, I had a lot of experience with it again, being on the defensive side of the ball. I've seen the goods and the bad. And then again, going to Miami and having Rhett Lashley, who does it really, really well as well. So I will say that you're right. It can go both ways. Either way, it doesn't matter to the defense. At the end of the day, the offense and the special teams is going to hand us a bill, and we have to pay that bill. And whatever that bill is, whatever the score is, we got to pay it. So the best way to pay that bill is to be able to, when you're talking about a tempo offense, you got to pay the bill you got to pay it with lots of depth. You got to be able to roll guys and play lots of guys. One of the big reasons I was excited about taking a job is when Coach Anderson we talked about it. He talked about the defense having more scholarships and more spots for us so that we can roll more guys. So we actually have higher numbers on defense of guys we can take and even bring to games or even just recruit, et cetera, so that if we're going to have a fast-paced tempo offense, we can roll multiple guys. Well, if that's the case, you got to have more guys. So we'll play a lot of guys. We'll roll a lot of guys so long as we have the depth.
I'm going to take a long step backwards here. I apologize, but how, as Blake Anderson or Coach Anderson kind of showed himself to you, what have you seen out of him? What are your thoughts on him as a coach?
I've said it before. I really do believe he's on the Mount Rushmore of coaches you want to work for in this profession.
Goodness.
And I'm not talking about, wins and losses like Nick Saban. And Nick's great. Coach Saban, I've never met him, but I've heard great things. I'm talking about just quality of life. And I think he's really up there at that. I think he's one of the 4 or 5 guys in his profession that provides that. And now being able to live through it for the last 6 to 7 months, it's affirmed, my belief in that. I'd say the way that I've experienced it is just how he is with his family, how he is with, his new wife and his children. And to see him get out of the office and be with them, be present with them when they're here, present, and when he's away, present with them. I've loved and enjoyed when he's walked in here and pushed me out of here to, go and be a better father. This summer, it was unique. He gave us so much time to just get away and to immerse ourselves back into our families, especially knowing that we just had this big transition. We had a bunch of time in May to just really dive back into our families. And then in the summer, it gave us a great break, which you don't get that in a lot of places.
Absolutely.
And it allowed us to reconnect with our family, experience things with our family, and just get closer with them, which I think's helped me in this building be a better football coach. So those are kind of the small little things that he's done over time. but he's done it all with actions and not words.
That's a heck of an answer. Coach, your schedule is really fun this year. You go to Pullman, Washington to kick it off. You got that 3-game death row stretch of Air Force, Boise State, BYU. How excited are you to get this thing underway and get going?
Well, they
I'm
definitely
not even playing it. I'm just got goosebumps right now just talking about the season.
Yeah, the Mountain West got us in the fast track right off the bat. I like it. I appreciate that. Maybe next time they can think about that one for a little bit. But I think it's good. Maybe they know something about us that we're learning. But I like it. We're going to start fast. We'll know a lot about ourselves early. We'll learn a lot about ourselves early. However it comes out, we still, we're going to be as good as we can be. We're going to play our butts off. We've already started on all those teams in the summer, spring and summer, and we'll actually start practicing for those guys through camp. I like to take days that are kind of, in camp, days get long and a little just, mundane, if you will.
Sure.
So I'll take a day and we'll work on Air Force. A day we'll work on Boise State, BYU, Washington State, all of them, North Dakota. We'll spend time incorporating those things through our camp schedule to kind of get ahead. But we have prepped for it, and we're excited to start this thing off. We're definitely starting in the fast lane.
Coach, can't wait for it. September 4th in Pullman, Washington. Look forward to seeing you there, and good luck this season. Stay healthy.
Absolutely. Pleasure meeting everyone. Excited to see the fans. Excited to, hear crowds again. It's been a long time. I heard they get pretty loud here.
They do.
So hopefully they'll be out there as soon as we get back for North Dakota.